Look around you. Nature holds a wisdom many of us overlook. A river never rushes to reach the sea, nor does it attempt to control every twist and turn along its path. Yet, it always finds its destination, moving calmly and purposefully. It trusts the flow, embracing every bend and obstacle as part of its journey. But us? We spend our lives desperately trying to grasp every detail, meticulously planning each step, hoping to mold reality exactly as we wish. We convince ourselves that if we let go even slightly, chaos will ensue. But the truth is, this relentless obsession to control everything doesn't bring us peace. It brings us anxiety, tension, and dissatisfaction. Have you ever wondered why you feel exhausted despite achieving your goals? It's because the effort you invest in trying to control every minor detail of your life drains your spirit. The ancient Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, understood this clearly. Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The lesson here is powerful yet simple. Control is an illusion, and trying to maintain it only deepens our suffering. Consider the story of someone who has spent their entire life holding tightly to their dreams, never loosening their grip for a second. Every relationship, every project, every plan had to unfold exactly as envisioned. But inevitably, life happened. Mistakes were made, paths diverged, relationships ended, plans fell apart, and they were left devastated each time. Why? Because they tried to control the uncontrollable, and in doing so, robbed themselves of peace. There's immense beauty and relief in recognizing that some things are simply beyond our influence. Letting go doesn't mean giving up your ambition or losing direction. It means accepting the boundaries between what you can and cannot change. It's about choosing to invest your energy where it matters most, not scattering your efforts in endless frustration. So, ask yourself this deeply honest question. How much of your daily stress and frustration stems from trying to control things you truly can't? The actions of others, the random twists of fate, even the small inconveniences that disrupt your carefully planned day, these are all beyond your true control. Yet, you continue to invest your precious energy and peace of mind into these uncontrollable factors. Imagine the freedom you'd gain if you could genuinely let go of this need to control. Picture a life where you embrace uncertainty as a part of your journey rather than an obstacle. That life exists, and it's closer than you think. Imagine this scenario vividly for a moment. You're driving along a quiet road, music gently humming through the speakers, windows slightly open. You're calm, composed, everything feels just right. Suddenly, out of nowhere, the sky darkens. Raindrops begin falling rapidly, blurring the windshield. Your instinctive reaction? Grip the steering wheel tighter, your body tense, eyes straining, pulse quickening. Why does this happen? Because at our core, we're terrified of uncertainty. We panic at the idea of things slipping out of our hands, of losing control, even momentarily. Our immediate reaction is always to tighten our grip, desperately clawing for certainty in a world that has none to offer. But here's the catch. The tighter you grip, the more tension you create. Physically, mentally, emotionally. You unknowingly set yourself up for an exhausting battle with life, a war you simply can't win. Lao Tzu, the ancient philosopher behind Taoism, summed it up perfectly when he said, "Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow." It's simple wisdom, but one we often overlook in our frantic pursuit of control. Think back to moments in your own life when you insisted on having absolute certainty. Maybe it was a relationship where you tried desperately to mold the other person's behavior. Or perhaps it was your career, where every misstep felt like a devastating failure. Each time something deviated from your meticulously constructed plans, you spiraled into anxiety, disappointment, and regret. Yet looking back now, was your tension and worry helpful in any meaningful way? Or did it merely intensify the pain and confusion you felt? Consider this powerful truth. Life is not a problem to be solved. It's an experience to be lived. When you approach each day as if you're constantly putting out fires, micromanaging every detail, you completely miss the beauty of simply experiencing the moments unfolding before you. Think of how much energy you spend trying to predict, control, and manage every little detail. What if instead you invested that same energy into fully experiencing life as it comes? Picture this vividly. You're holding a handful of sand. The tighter you grip, the more quickly it slips through your fingers. But relax your grip, open your palm, and the sand rests peacefully. This is exactly how life works. Your attempts to grip tighter only hasten the slipping away of your peace and joy. Yet when you relax, release, and accept, everything flows more naturally, with less resistance and more harmony. Let's dive deeper into the idea that control is nothing but an illusion we've crafted to comfort ourselves in a chaotic world. Neurologically, our brains crave certainty, predictability, and stability. It's wired into our evolutionary biology. Uncertainty was once literally life-threatening. But modern life isn't the wilderness. It doesn't require constant vigilance and tension. Yet we still carry this primal fear of uncertainty, constantly attempting to construct an artificial sense of control around us. Friedrich Nietzsche, another great thinker, observed that humans often suffer most not from their problems themselves, but from their resistance to them. He once said, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger." His words weren't just about resilience, they were about acceptance, accepting the unpredictability of life, and letting go of the futile attempt to force certainty into existence. Now ask yourself honestly, are you gripping your life too tightly? Are you holding on to your expectations, your plans, your fears so rigidly that they're starting to suffocate your joy and peace? Reflect on the moments when you did let go. Maybe during a spontaneous vacation, an unplanned conversation with a friend, or an unexpected twist in your career or relationships. Were those not the moments that felt most vibrant, most real, most deeply fulfilling? But letting go isn't easy. It requires trust. Trust in yourself, trust in others, trust in life itself. It means embracing vulnerability and realizing that not knowing exactly what's going to happen next can actually be deeply liberating. It means seeing uncertainty as a blank canvas rather than a dark abyss, a space filled with possibility instead of fear. The shift begins with small, intentional choices. Every time you encounter something uncertain, perhaps a delayed meeting, a relationship conflict, or even traffic on your commute, pause briefly and notice your immediate reaction. Are you tensing up, clenching your jaw, bracing yourself mentally? Recognize this pattern. Then, consciously choose to loosen your mental grip. Tell yourself, this too is part of life. I don't need to control this. Even this tiny moment of awareness can begin rewiring your response patterns, leading you gradually toward greater peace and acceptance. Imagine waking up one day feeling lighter, calmer, less burdened by the need to manage everything around you. Imagine entering every conversation, every relationship, every moment without needing absolute certainty of the outcome. How much more fully could you enjoy your life? How much richer, more meaningful would each experience become? Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about your own well-being and peace of mind to trust life a bit more. It means you're strong enough to accept that while you can't control every circumstance, you can always control your reaction to it. This is the essence of true inner strength and authentic freedom. Now, let's be real for a second. No one wakes up in the morning and thinks, you know what? Today, I'm going to stress myself out by trying to control everything that could possibly go wrong. Yet we manage to do exactly that, day after day. It's like signing up voluntarily for a full-time job called Worrying Inc. But the kicker is, you're paying yourself in anxiety, headaches, and a bunch of sleepless nights. Not the best deal if you ask me. Ever noticed how much effort we pour into predicting outcomes? We rehearse difficult conversations in the shower, playing out every possible scenario, complete with dramatic hand gestures and Oscar-worthy dialogues. And what happens when we actually have that conversation? Usually nothing remotely close to the soap opera we rehearsed. Life isn't following your screenplay, and that's perfectly okay. In fact, it's better than okay. It's freeing. There's an old Zen proverb that's surprisingly simple. Let go or be dragged. Think about that for a second. Imagine stubbornly holding onto a rope tied to a wild horse. You're convinced that if you just grip tighter, you'll gain control. Spoiler alert, you won't. Instead, you'll find yourself face down, dragged through dirt and mud, clinging desperately to something you never really had a chance at controlling. The irony is that all you had to do was release the rope. Just let it go. But we're stubborn creatures, aren't we? We cling to the illusion of control like it's our lifeline, terrified that if we loosen our grip, everything will collapse into chaos. So, we exhaust ourselves micromanaging every detail, from our career paths to our relationships, even obsessing over minor things like whether someone replied to a text fast enough. Let me break it to you gently. Life is messy. Life is unpredictable. And it doesn't care about your detailed itinerary. Here's a quick story. There's a famous legend of a farmer whose horse ran away. When the neighbors came to console him, he shrugged and said, "Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's good. Who knows?" A few days later, the horse returned with a herd of wild horses, and everyone cheered his fortune. Again, he replied calmly, "Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad. Who knows?" Soon after, his son broke his leg trying to ride one of those wild horses. The neighbors rushed in sympathy, but the farmer simply repeated, "Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, who knows?" Finally, soldiers came by recruiting young men for war, but seeing the son's injury, they moved on without him. Once again, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, who knows? Life is a lot like this story. We genuinely never know how things will turn out. And that's precisely why holding on to our plans with iron fists isn't just exhausting, it's pointless. We convince ourselves that control equals security, but it actually just shackles us to stress and fear. The farmer wasn't indifferent. He was wise enough to realize that life often knows better than we do. Let's face it, half the things you worry about never even happen. And the other half? Well, worrying didn't stop them either. All it did was rob you of your peace in the present moment. Imagine living your life like you're continuously sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, rocking back and forth, but you never actually move forward. Take a deep breath, right now, wherever you are. Relax your shoulders, loosen your jaw. I bet you didn't even realize you were clenching it. Just for a moment, genuinely acknowledge that the weight you've placed on your shoulders doesn't need to be there. You're allowed to put it down, step back, and trust that things can unfold without your constant supervision. Now I know what you're thinking. Easier said than done. And you're right. It takes courage to let go, to trust, and to allow life to unfold without your direct oversight. But isn't that exactly what makes life worth living? The unexpected twists, the unpredictable adventures, the surprises around every corner. Those are precisely the moments that make life vibrant and real. Think back to your happiest memories. Were they meticulously planned down to the minute? Probably not. More likely, they involved spontaneity, openness, a bit of risk, and yes, even some uncertainty. Those were the times you felt fully alive. Those were the moments when you weren't clinging desperately to control, but instead, fully immersed in the present moment. This isn't to say you should abandon all goals and drift aimlessly through life. Rather, it's about finding that sweet spot, that delicate balance between intention and surrender. Set your goals, but hold them loosely. Pursue your dreams passionately, but leave room for life to surprise you along the way. When you let go of trying to control every single detail, you start creating space for genuine joy, creativity, and unexpected blessings. So next time you catch yourself tightly gripping the steering wheel of life, convinced that letting go means crashing into disaster, remember this simple truth: the road ahead is never completely clear, and that's exactly what makes the journey so beautifully worthwhile. At the heart of everything we've explored today lies a profound yet simple truth. Freedom isn't about having complete control, it's about being brave enough to release it. Every moment spent grasping for certainty is a moment not fully lived. When you loosen your grip, you don't lose power. You reclaim it. You become adaptable, resilient, and genuinely at peace, regardless of the storms around you. Ask yourself honestly, are you ready to trade tension for trust, stress for serenity, and anxiety for authenticity? Are you willing to believe that life doesn't need your constant management to unfold beautifully? It's a courageous leap, but it's one that promises liberation and real inner peace. This isn't just philosophy or feel-good advice. It's a practical shift in mindset you can apply right now. Start small. Allow life's unexpected twists and turns to unfold without resistance. Notice how lighter you feel, how suddenly everything becomes less of a battle and more of an adventure. Now, I invite you to take that first courageous step right here, right now. Leave a comment below with the word release, signaling your commitment to letting go and embracing the beautiful uncertainty of life. By doing this simple act, you're already on your way to transforming how you live and experience your reality. Remember, you were never meant to control everything. Just trust the flow and watch how beautifully life unfolds.